This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we're going to be repairing the convection element on the Bosch oven. So first thing, make sure that you turn off the breaker. It might be even two breakers going to this oven. Should be 220 volts. Make sure both breakers are off. Now we're going to lift up on these two catches here on the oven hinges and then slide the oven door towards you. It'll just slide right off. Comes off pretty easy. We'll get that oven door off to the side. We're going to get all the grills out, and then we have the back plate here is held in by 4 screws. These are just Phillips head screws. We're just going to zip these off, and then we'll have access to the convection element. Sometimes when the self-clean feature's done, it just melts the element. I think that's probably what happened to this oven. We just got to remove these 4 Phillips head screws, and then we can just pull this element, this backing plate right off. Some ovens you have to get to the element from the back of the oven behind the oven. In this case, it's pretty easy because it's just right here in front of you once you open the oven door. Getting the oven door off helps too, so it just gives you more room to work. So we're pulling that plate off. It covers the fan and the element. And here's the element, and we can see here some pretty bad damage as if the element has melted. And that's probably from the self-clean feature, which is just terrible for ovens. I hope you never use your self-clean feature. We're going to remove 3 screws that hold on the element. One here on the right-hand side, Phillips head screw. And then there's 2 holding it on right here where it goes through the firewall. And then there's 2 Phillips head screws. And we can pull the element out. We have to pull it at about maybe a 45-degree angle so that the wires can leave the firewall. I want to be careful that we don't pull and have one of these wires fall back in. So just take your time here, wiggle it out slow, get it out where you can see it, and then I usually use some needle nose pliers to be able to pull off the spade connectors because they're on there pretty tight. So just get those wires out, don't tug too hard, get them out there maybe an inch or 2, and then use your needle nose pliers to pull off. The middle one is green for ground and the other 2 are bringing the power to, and then the neutral bringing it back. So we got the wires off, and now we put the new element in position. We're going to just push those new wires on, and then we're going to feed that back into the firewall at an angle. Just take your time. Wiggle it in. And then once it's in position, we'll put those 3 mounting screws back in to hold it there. This whole procedure will only take you about 15 minutes. Zip in those 2. These elements are pretty cheap too. It's actually a really good repair because it gets your oven working really well again. And doesn't cost much, doesn't take much time. You can get Bosch parts from reliableparts.com. It's a good source. So we're zipping those on. And we'll put the plate back on. We might notice that by the light bulbs there's these little heat-proof gaskets. Make sure those are in position, just lightly sitting there. There we go. And then we can feed in that plate. Oh yeah, here's the old element. You can see it's just the ceramic was even melted. Almost for sure that was due to self-cleaning. So we're going to put those 4 machine screws back in. To hold on the plate. And we can slide the oven door back in and then put those clips back into position. We'll close it. We'll turn the breakers back on. You got to reset the clock, and then go convection, and we can see here when we open the door, we can see that in the element in the back is red hot, and it's working great. So thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe when you get a chance.